Today our topic is why Stoics practiced silence. The Stoics were ancient philosophers who believed in living a life of virtue, self-control, and inner peace. One of their key practices was silence, and this might seem strange at first. Why would people who were so focused on wisdom and understanding the world choose to stay quiet? But when we look deeper, we see that silence was not just about not speaking. It was a powerful tool for self-improvement, clarity, and understanding life better. First, let's talk about why silence was important to the Stoics. In our modern world, we are surrounded by noise. We have phones, social media, TV, and endless conversations. We often feel pressured to speak, to share our opinions, or to react quickly to what others say. But the Stoics believed that speaking without thinking could lead to mistakes, misunderstandings, and unnecessary conflict. Silence, on the other hand, gave them time to think, to reflect, and to understand what was truly important. By staying silent, they could avoid saying things they might regret later. This is something we can all learn from. How many times have we said something in anger or frustration, only to wish we could take it back? The Stoics knew that words have power, and they chose to use that power carefully. Silence also helped the Stoics focus on what they could control. One of the main ideas in Stoicism is that we cannot control everything in life. We cannot control other people's actions, the weather, or the past. But we can control our own thoughts, actions, and reactions. By practicing silence, the Stoics reminded themselves to focus on what was within their control. When they stayed quiet, they were less likely to be distracted by external things. They could concentrate on their own inner world, on their values, and on their goals. This is a valuable lesson for us today. We often spend so much time worrying about things we cannot change. But if we practice silence, even for a few minutes each day, we can learn to focus on what really matters. Another reason the Stoics practiced silence was to cultivate humility. In ancient times, as now, many people liked to show off their knowledge or argue to prove they were right. But the Stoics believed that true wisdom came from listening, not from talking. By staying silent, they showed respect for others and acknowledged that they did not have all the answers. This humility helped them learn from others and grow as individuals. It also helped them avoid unnecessary conflicts. When we are quiet, we give others the space to speak and express themselves. This can lead to deeper, more meaningful conversations. It can also help us build stronger relationships, because people feel heard and valued when we listen to them. Silence was also a way for the Stoics to practice self-discipline. It is not easy to stay quiet, especially when we feel strongly about something. But the Stoics believed that self-control was one of the most important virtues. By choosing silence, they trained themselves to resist the urge to react impulsively. This self-discipline helped them stay calm in difficult situations and make better decisions. For example, imagine someone insults you. Your first reaction might be to defend yourself or to insult them back. But if you stay silent, you give yourself time to think. You might realize that the insult says more about the other person than it does about you. Or you might decide that it is not worth your energy to respond. In this way, silence can be a form of strength. It shows that you are in control of your emotions and that you do not need to prove anything to anyone. The Stoics also used silence as a way to connect with nature and the universe. They believe that everything in the world is interconnected, and that we are all part of a larger whole. By being silent, they could tune into this deeper connection. They could listen to the sounds of nature, observe the world around them, and feel a sense of peace and unity. This is something we can try in our own lives. When we are quiet, we can appreciate the beauty of the world more fully. We can notice the small things that we often overlook, like the sound of birds singing or the feel of the wind on our skin. This can help us feel more grounded and connected to the world around us. In addition to these benefits, silence also helped the Stoics practice gratitude. When we are constantly talking or listening to noise, it is easy to take things for granted. But when we are silent, we have the opportunity to reflect on what we have and to appreciate it. The Stoics often wrote about the importance of being thankful for the simple things in life, like food, shelter, and the company of loved ones. By practicing silence, they could focus on these blessings and feel a sense of contentment. This is a powerful reminder for us. In our busy lives, we often forget to be grateful. But if we take a few moments each day to be silent and reflect, we can cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude and happiness. Finally, silence was a way for the Stoics to prepare for death. This might sound strange or even morbid, but the Stoics believed that thinking about death could help us live better lives. They knew that life is short and unpredictable, and they wanted to make the most of every moment. By practicing silence, they could reflect on their mortality and remind themselves of what truly mattered. This helped them live with purpose and intention, rather than wasting time on trivial things. It also helped them face challenges and difficulties with courage, because they knew that nothing lasts forever. This is a powerful lesson for us. While we may not want to think about death, acknowledging its inevitability can help us focus on what is truly important and live more fully. So, how can we practice silence in our own lives? It does not mean we have to stop talking altogether. Instead, we can start by setting aside a few minutes each day to be quiet. This could be in the morning before the day gets busy, or in the evening before we go to bed. During this time, we can focus on our breathing, observe our thoughts, or simply sit in stillness. We can also practice silence in conversations by listening more and speaking less. When we do speak, we can choose our words carefully and avoid unnecessary arguments. Over time, these small practices can have a big impact. They can help us feel more calm, focused, and connected to ourselves and others. The Stoics were wise to understand the power of silence. In a world full of noise and distractions, silence is a rare and valuable gift. It allows us to think clearly, to connect with what truly matters, and to live with intention and purpose. By practicing silence, we can learn to control our emotions, cultivate humility, and appreciate the beauty of life. We can also prepare ourselves for the challenges and uncertainties that come our way. So let us take inspiration from the Stoics and make silence a part of our daily lives. It is not always easy, but it is worth it. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Let us remember this wisdom and use our silence to grow, to learn, and to live better.